Greetings and welcome to lecture series on thermodynamics. Today we will see few more derivations of property relations. So first derivation is Clapeyron equation. So we'll first see what is the importance of this Clapeyron equation. So Clapeyron equation enables us to determine the enthalpy change associated with phase change. So let me give you an example regarding this. Suppose we have liquid, which is denoted by F, and suppose we have gas, which is denoted as G. So we can have water at atmospheric pressure, which is at 100 degrees Celsius, and we can also have vapor, which is at 100 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees Celsius. It means that at same temperature for corresponding atmospheric pressure, we can have both liquid as well as vapor. Now, how is this liquid converted into vapor? By adding latent heat. By adding which heat? Latent heat. Okay. Now, this latent heat value, it is known as HFG. HFG. This is enthalpy of vaporization. It is also known as latent heat of vaporization. It is enthalpy of vaporization, which is given by HFG. So to convert 100 degrees Celsius water at atmospheric pressure, pressure is very important, to vapor, which is also at atmospheric pressure but at same temperature, 100 degrees Celsius. What do we add? We add enthalpy of vaporization, and that is denoted by what? HFG. So Clapeyron equation help us determine what is the enthalpy change associated with phase change. So phase change means temperature remains same, okay, pressure is remaining same, only phase is changing. So how to calculate this HFG value? It is given by this Clapeyron equation. Now consider the third Maxwell relation. Maxwell relation we had seen in the previous lecture. So this is the third Maxwell relation, dou P by dou T when volume is constant equal to dou S by dou V when temperature is constant. Now during phase change, just now we discussed, let me explain that part again. During phase change from F, which is liquid, to gas, which is G, it depends on pressure and temperature. The corresponding pressure where phase changes is known as Psat, which is written over here, Psat, and corresponding temperature to Psat, that temperature is known as what? Tsat. So during phase change, pressure remains same, pressure is constant, temperature is constant, and liquid, which is denoted by F, is converted into vapor by adding enthalpy of vaporization, or you can also say latent heat of vaporization. Now in this case you can say that pressure is function of Tsat, temperature. Okay, so here in this equation I have written partial differentiation, dou P by dou T, but pressure is function of temperature only. So we can remove this volume equal to constant and we can take express this term as total derivative. So what will be this? It will become dP by dt sat. Why? I already explained you the reason. Now next thing is, so we can replace this term. So we will see this on the next slide. So you can see over here PT diagram, pressure versus temperature diagram. Now what is this diagram exactly? In detail we will see in next module. Okay, in that module there will be in detail we will be going through PT diagram. For now just see this diagram and understand what I am trying to explain. So this is a solid region. This is one curve, second curve, and third curve. This is vapor region. This is liquid region. How this is there? Why this is solid? Why this is vapor? This we will see afterwards. Okay. Now when I am considering dou P by dou T at saturation, that is constant. This is a line we are drawing over here to a curve, and that is indicating slope on PT diagram. Okay, so again we have taken that Maxwell relation, and we have already discussed that this dou P by dou T will become dP by dt, total derivative. Why? Because during phase change, pressure is function of Psat is function of Tsat only. So what I can write, dP by dt is equal to, now this is what? Change in entropy. So from where entropy is changing, let me explain you that. So we have liquid, which is denoted by F, and we have gas, which is denoted by G. Now entropy and volume both will be higher. For which phase? It will be for gas phase. So that is why, and it is ds means it will be delta. So it will be final minus initial. So final will be gas and initial will be liquid. So you can see over here Sg minus Sf. So dou S can be written as Sg minus Sf. Similarly, dou V can be written as Vg minus Vf. Now Sg minus Sf is denoted over here by Sfg. Okay, and in denominator we have Vg minus Vf. Now we have studied this relation before. DH is equal to TdS plus VdP. How we get this relation? Using H is equal to U plus PV, and in that equation we substitute the values, and this we are derived in the Maxwell relation. So we get that DH is equal to TdS plus VdP. Now during phase change, pressure remains constant. So you can see over here this dP term. dP means what? Change in pressure, and since during phase change pressure remains constant, this dP will become 0. So what equation you will get? You will get DH is equal to TdS. Now integrate this equation, DH equal to TdS. What you will get? Integrate it from limit F to G, liquid to gas, vapor. So integration F to G dH is equal to T, temperature is remaining constant, that is why it is taken out of the integration, integral liquid to gas ds. Now integrate this, what you will get? This will become Hg minus Hf, which is denoted by Hfg, is equal to, on right hand side you will get T Sg minus Sf. Now Sg minus Sf can be denoted by Sfg. So final relation is like this: Hg is equal to Tsat into Hfg is equal to Tsat into Sfg. So from this what we can write? Sfg is what? See this. What is this Sfg? This Sfg will be Hfg divided by Tsat. Okay, same thing I have written over here. Now if you compare this equation, okay, if you compare this equation, see this term, you have Sfg, and see this equation, you have Sfg value. So you can substitute Sfg value from this equation to this one. Okay, so we'll do that now. So I am substituting Sfg as Hfg upon Tsat. So what equation I will get? dP by dt is equal to Hfg upon Tsat Vg minus Vf. This is known as what? Clapeyron equation. Now what we have already discussed, what is the significance of this Clapeyron equation. What is that? You can calculate enthalpy during phase change. Okay, so we will see an application of this equation in next slide. Okay, so significance of this equation we will see. So dp by dt is equal to hfg upon tsat in bracket vg minus vf. Now, what is this equation? This equation is known as Clapeyron equation after French engineer and physicist E. Clapeyron. Okay, and this relation helps us determine enthalpy of vaporization HFG, provided you know what is the slope dp by dt and you know Tsat, Vg and Vf values. Okay, now we'll see an example over here. What is given? See this example using Clapeyron equation. So I have written Clapeyron equation on this side. Using Clapeyron equation, estimate value of enthalpy of vaporization for a refrigerant R134A. Now what is this refrigerant? Refrigerant is a working fluid in your either in your refrigerator or air conditioner. Okay, so refrigerant 134A at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, and we have to compare this HFG value with the standard tabulated value which we get from experiments. So experiments are done, and using that we form a table. Okay, so I'll show you that table also. So this solution is there and this is the table. So on right side you can see the table. This table has been determined experimentally. So R134A refrigerant is used, and pressure, some conditions are maintained, and this data is generated using experiments. Okay, now what is HFG from here? HFG will be slope, which is dp by dt sat at saturation condition multiplied by Tsat into Vfg, which I have is shown over here. Now what is Vfg? What is the temperature given? 20. So it will be Vg minus Vf at 20. So if you see over here 20 degrees Celsius, this is value of Vg from the table 0.036012, and Vf value is this one. So you will get Vfg at 20 degrees Celsius. Now in this equation we calculated Vfg. Tsat is what? 20 plus 273, that we know. Now we have to calculate slope. To calculate slope we will consider a range. So 20 lies in between 24 and 16. Okay, so what we can write, dp by dt will be delta p by delta t. So here you can see this part. This 16 degrees Celsius temperature is there, 24 is there. So for 24, what is the corresponding pressure? 646.18. Okay, that is written over here. And similarly, Psat for 16, it is 504.58 divided by the original temperature difference, which is 24 minus 16. Now you should note that this 24 and 16 temperature, why we have taken this is we are interested with 20 degrees Celsius temperature. Okay, but to calculate slope we are taking some higher and lower point as a reference. That thing we have done over here. So we will get dp by dt sat value as 17.7. Now substitute the values in this equation. So what you will get, HFG is equal to Tsat, which will be 273 plus 20. So here it is written as 273.15, because actually when we want to convert degree Celsius into Kelvin, actual conversion is 273.15. Okay, so you have to add 273.15, that is done over here, multiplied by what is this Vfg we have calculated over here, multiplied by dp by dt, which is slope we have calculated. So you will get HFG value as 182.62 kilojoule per kg. This is enthalpy of vaporization. Now you can see this value and compare it with 20 degrees Celsius HFG. So this value is 182.62 and this value is 182.33. Okay, so it is matching, and small difference is there, that is because of some approximations. Okay, so in this way, using Clapeyron equation, you can calculate what is enthalpy of vaporization. Now we will see next one. Now we can write entropy as function of temperature and volume. So now differentiate this equation. You can write this one, this equation, then multiply this equation throughout by T, you will get this equation. And dq is for a constant volume process, dq is cv dt. So dq is what? TdS. So you will get that cv is equal to, this will become T ds by dou s by dou t when volume is constant. And this is a Maxwell relation. And then this T multiplied by dou s by dou t when V is constant will give you Cv. So final TdS equation will be TdS is equal to Cv dt plus T, and this term you can see over here, dou s by dou V T, it is replaced by dou P by dou T V using Maxwell relation. Okay, so this first part of this equation, T dou s by dou T V is replaced by Cv, and this second part, dou s by dou V T, is replaced by this part using Maxwell relation. So you will get this as first TdS equation. Now why we are deriving this TdS equation again is because we have to use this equation in Mayer's relation, okay, which we will see afterwards. Second TdS equation, we will write entropy is function of temperature and pressure. We will differentiate and multiply it with T. So you will get ds equation and then multiply by T on both the sides. You will get this equation. Now Cp value will be this one, T dou s by dou T P, using similar logic as previous slide, and this is the Maxwell relation. So now in this equation you can replace this part by Cp, and you can replace this part by this term. So you will get the second TdS equation. Now we are deriving this equation because we require this relation in Mayer's relation while deriving that. Okay, now there are two more terminologies which will be required when we derive Mayer's relation. So we will study those. First one is volume expansivity. It is also known as coefficient of volumetric expansion, denoted by beta. Now you should remember that in different textbooks this is denoted by different notation. So don't get confused. We are using this term as beta. Now what do you mean by this beta? So just understand this. Suppose we draw V by T diagram, volume by temperature diagram, and on that diagram suppose these are constant pressure curves. Now the slope of this constant pressure curve, if you consider point A, okay, consider any point A on constant pressure curve, what will be the slope? It will be dy by dx. So what is dy? It will be V. So dV by dt will be the slope. Okay, now in a case of partial differentiation, what you can write, slope will be what? Dou V by dou T when pressure is constant. Why? Because we are calculating the slope for constant pressure curve. So dou V by dou T when pressure is constant. Now when this slope is divided by volume, we get an extensive property which is known as beta, volume expansivity. Okay, so beta is what? 1 by V into dou V by dou T when pressure is constant. This is the definition of beta. Now what is meaning of this? What do you mean by beta? So beta is what? It is defined as infinitesimal fractional change of volume per unit per infinitesimal fractional change in temperature per unit volume when pressure is constant. Now understand meaning of this beta. So you can see this figure number 1, figure number A. Here one cylinder and piston is shown. Inside this gas is there whose pressure is 100 kilopascal, mass is 1 kg, and temperature is 20 kg. 20 degrees Celsius. Now this is a closed system, so mass is not transferring, so mass will remain same. Now in second diagram you can see that the piston has moved. Okay, you can see this part. Piston has moved from this point to this point. Now this is what expansion process. You can see gas has expanded. Now how we define this volume expansivity when pressure is maintained constant. So here you can see 100 kilopascal pressure is there, and here also 100 kilopascal pressure is there. So this is constant pressure expansion. So here the temperature has increased, so temperature is 21 degrees Celsius. Now in this case, if beta value is more, this is the part where dou V by dou T is pressure has been indicated. Now same example has been shown in figure B. Same 100 kilopascal is there, 1 kg gas is there, 20 degrees Celsius. Again at constant pressure, what happens is this piston moves in upward direction, that is gas expands. Okay, now here you can see that for small beta value, this expansion volume, the volume of expansion which you can see over here, that is less. Okay, so this is the significance of this beta. So when you have constant pressure expansion process, when pressure is maintained constant, if beta value is more, then you can see this dou V by dou T at constant pressure, this value will be more. Similarly, when beta value is less, you can see this volume is less. Now this we have to use in some other cases in Mayer's relation. That is why we are going through this part. Now one more terminology is there which is known as isothermal compressibility. Now next term is isothermal compressibility. It is denoted by K. Again you should remember that in different textbooks the notation will be different. Now in previous case we had considered VT diagram, here we are considering VP diagram, and I have shown over here constant temperature curves. Now what will be the, if I consider a point A over here, what will be the slope of this point for constant temperature curve? It will be dou V by dou P when temperature is constant. Now isothermal compressibility K is equal to minus of 1 upon V dou V by dou P when temperature is constant. Now what is this K? K is defined as infinitesimal fractional change in volume per infinitesimal change in pressure per unit volume at constant temperature. Now here you can see negative sign is given. Why? Because volume decreases when pressure is increased. Okay, so because of that, this dou V by dou P term, it will be negative, and to make this term as positive, so negative and negative will become positive. That is why we are introducing over here negative sign. Now we will see relation between beta and K. What is beta? Volume expansivity. Okay, we have seen over here. And what is K? Isothermal compressibility. We will see relation between these two. So we can write this equation. Now this has been shown in detail in the PDF file provided to you. Okay, this is known as cyclic relation. So basically that is written, so you can write F is x, y, z is equal to 0. Okay, and from there you can derive some relation that is known as cyclic relation. It is in terms of x, y, z. And you can replace x, y, z in terms of pressure, volume and temperature, and you can write the cyclic relation for pressure, volume and temperature. So this relation gives you -1, and this has been explained in this PDF which has been provided to you. Okay, so fundamentals of partial differentiation. There are two terminologies over here. One is reciprocity relation and second is cyclic relation. So cyclic relation is shown over here for x, y and z, and then it has been applied for pressure, volume and temperature. Okay, you can go through this. Now, using this cyclic relation, okay, what we can derive the relationship between beta and K. So how to derive that relation now? So beta is what? One of this we have derived beta and K value already defined. So now we can substitute, you can see over here dou P by dou V when T is constant. So here you can see dou P by dou V is there. So it will be reciprocal of this. So you can take this term on left hand side. So what you will get? You will get 1 up minus 1 upon kV. So same thing I have written over here. Similarly, dou V by dou T when pressure is constant, dou V by dou T will be beta into V. Okay, this will be beta into V into this term, so equal to minus 1. So now what you can do is, you can see over here volume and volume will get cancelled, and both side you have negative, it will become positive, and dou T by dou P when volume is constant, you will keep on left hand side, take, okay, so you can take this on right hand side, so you will get this will go on right hand side. Okay, let me show you. This will go on right hand side. So what you will get? Dou P by dou T when volume is constant equal to beta by K. So this is the relation through which beta and K is connected. Now again we will be using this sometime later in the Mayer's relation. That is why we are going through this. Now this beta and K relation which we have developed, these are for general relation for ideal gas as well as real gas, but we can reduce the equation for ideal gas for beta and K. So how to do that? So for ideal gas follows PV, P small v, this is specific volume, is equal to RT. What is the actual equation? PV equal to MRT. In that case V will be volume. What we are writing, P small v, which is specific volume, volume upon mass, is equal to RT. So on differentiating this equation, what we can write? P dV plus V dP equal to R dt. Now there are two conditions over here. Okay, so we will use two conditions. First condition is what? When pressure is held constant. So when pressure is held constant, you can see over here this dP term, it will become 0. Okay, so this dP term will become 0 in that case. So what you will get? You will get on differentiating P when pressure is held constant, so dou V when pressure is held constant is equal to R dou T when pressure is held constant. Now what we can write using this is dou V by dou T when pressure is held constant is equal to R upon T. Now multiply on both the sides of this equation by 1 by V. So I have multiplied LHS and RHS by 1 by V. Okay, so this I have multiplied. Now, so what equation you will get is 1 by V dou V by dou T when pressure is held constant is equal to R upon, now this P into specific volume is what? RT. So I have replaced this P into small v by RT over here. So now what you can get, what is this? 1 upon V dou V by dou T P, that is beta, volume expansivity. So this value is what? RR will get cancelled and it will become 1 by T. This is very important relation. We will be using this relation in Mayer's relation when we are deriving there. One more thing I would like to emphasize this over here is this beta value you will be again using in heat transfer subject when you deal with natural convection. So actually the definition of beta is what? 1 upon V dou V by dou T when pressure is constant. But for ideal gas, beta is what? 1 by T, where T is in Kelvin. And this relation you will be using directly in heat transfer subject. Okay, and there you should not have again a doubt that how this beta value is 1 by T. Why? Because we have already derived over here. So when you are studying heat transfer, no one is going to explain you why beta is 1 by T. So it is clear over here only in thermodynamics. But this is for what? Ideal gas. Now we will see K value. Okay, again PV, P small v specific volume is RT. So on differentiating, what we can write, again same, PdV plus VdP equal to RdT. Now in last case we had held pressure constant. Now we will see what happens when temperature is constant. So this dt will become 0. So what equation you will get? P dou V when temperature is held constant plus V dou P when temperature is held constant is equal to 0. Why 0? Because dt is 0. Temperature is held constant. Now by rearranging the terms, take this V dou P when temperature is constant on right hand side. Now what you can write is dou V by dou P when temperature is constant equal to minus V upon P. Now multiply on both the sides by minus 1 by V, LHS and RHS. So what you will get? Minus 1 by small v in bracket dou V by dou P when temperature is constant equal to, this will remain as it is, minus V by P into minus 1 by V. Now what is this? This term is K. So K and this minus V and minus V will get cancelled and you will get only 1 by P. So what is isothermal? What is this K? K value is 1 by P for ideal gas. Okay, again this relation we will be using in Mayer's relation. Now next important derivation, Mayer relation. Now what is this Mayer relation? This is difference between specific heat, Cp and Cv. So you have already used this. What is Cp minus Cv for ideal gas? Cp minus Cv for ideal gas is what? Let me write it down. Cp minus Cv for ideal gas is what? R. What is R? Characteristic gas constant. Okay, so this relation is for ideal gas. But what about real gas? So we will see that derivation now. What is Cp minus Cv? Okay, so we will see Mayer relation. It is difference between Cp minus Cv that we have to derive. So we have seen the two TdS equation which we have derived in this lecture previously. So I'll write the two TdS equation over here. So these are the two TdS relations which we had derived. Okay, now you can see left hand side of this TdS is same, right? Both are TdS relations. So we can equate this. So let me show you this. So you can see left hand side both the equation, this is TdS and this is also what? TdS. So you can equate this part. You can see this Cv dt. I am equating this part with this one over here. I hope this is clear. Okay, now after this, next one we will see so what we can do is this T dou P by dou T when volume is constant dV, take this term on left hand side, so it will become positive. So plus T dou V by dou T, pressure is constant dP is equal to, now this will be Cp dt minus take this term to right hand side, Cv dt, so it will become negative, so minus Cv dt. So now here you can see Cp minus Cv is appearing over here. So we need to get that. So dt is common. So we will write Cp minus Cv dt. Now what we can write? Observe this. What we can write over here is this dt will be over here, right side. And this term we can divide it by Cp minus Cv. you can see over here, T dou P by dou T when volume is held constant, dV upon, you can see this Cp minus Cv, it is taken on the denominator side. Similarly, this term you can see, okay, this term also can be divided by Cp minus Cv. So T dou V by dou T when pressure is held constant, dP divided by Cp minus Cv. You get this equation. Now again I'll write the same equation over here which we have derived in previous slide. Now I will write that temperature is function of volume and pressure. So now differentiate this equation. How to differentiate this? dt will be equal to dou T by dou V when pressure is constant, dV, plus dou T by second term dou P when volume is constant, dP. Now you can see this, compare these two equations. Both equation have dt. Both equation have dt. So right hand side should be same. And on right hand side, both equation have dV and dP. So here you can see this red color part will be equal. So same thing I have written. T dou P by dou T V by Cp minus Cv will be equal to dou T by dou V when pressure is constant. Similarly, you can see right side of this equation. In this case, okay, see this. Here also you have dP, here also you have dP. And left hand side, here it is dt, here also it is right side dt. So means this term is equal to this term. So again we can write same thing. T dou V by dou T when pressure is constant divided by Cp minus Cv equal to, this term is dou T by dou P when volume is constant. Now you can use any of the relation. Okay, here two relations are there. Okay, this relation is there and this relation is there. Both the relations are same. See this. Here you can see dou T by dou V when pressure is constant, it is over here, and this term is over here, same term. And similarly, this term which is over here, same term is appearing over here. So both the equations are same basically. So you can use any of the equation now. Okay, both these equations are same. So out of these two equations, use any one equation and forget about other because both are same. So what you can write? Cp minus Cv is equal to T multiplied by dou P by dou T when volume is constant, multiplied by, this will go on left hand side and you will get dou V by dou T when pressure is constant. Now what is this we had derived previously, that is why we had seen beta and k. Okay, so we had derived this dou P by dou T when volume is constant is equal to beta by k. This we have already derived. Similarly, dou V by dou T when pressure is constant is equal to beta into V. Okay, so let me show you the reference of this quickly. So this derivation we had seen over here. See this. Dou P by dou T when volume is constant is beta by k. This we have already seen. And similarly, this value dou V by dou T when pressure is constant equal to beta into V. This we have already seen. So same thing has been used. So when you substitute this value, so Cp minus Cv will be T. Okay, now understand this. T. Now this dou P by dou T when volume is constant is what? Beta by k. So I have substituted beta by k over here. Similarly, dou V by dou T when pressure is constant is what? Beta into V. So I have substituted beta into V over here. So finally, what value you will get? What value you are getting? Cp minus Cv is equal to T beta square V by K. This is known as what? Mayer's relation. Now this Mayer relation is giving you value of Cp minus Cv. Now for ideal gas, what is the value of Cp minus Cv? It is what? R. So we will prove that also after this. How you get, see actually the Cp minus Cv value is what? T beta square V upon K. From here, for ideal gas, how you can get Cp minus Cv equal to R? That we will see. Okay, so this we will see this. What is this Mayer relation? This Mayer relation has been named in honor of German physician and physicist J.R. Mayer. Okay, and it is useful to compute difference between specific heats. Specific heats means what? Cp minus Cv for any substance if their beta and K values are known. Now again I have written over here Mayer's relation Cp minus Cv is equal to T into beta square into V divided by K. What is the significant, what all conclusions we can get from this equation? First, what is the conclusion? All the terms on right hand side will be positive. Okay, so right hand side is positive of Mayer relation. It indicates that Cp minus Cv is positive, means Cp is always greater than or in some cases equal to Cv. Okay, this is the first conclusion from Mayer relation. Second conclusion, the difference between the specific heat Cp minus Cv approaches zero as the absolute temperature. Absolute temperature means which temperature? Kelvin temperature. Approaches zero. Means when this T value will become zero, absolute zero, in that case you can get Cp is equal to Cv. Difference between the specific heat approaches zero in that case. This is the second conclusion. Now third conclusion. What is the third conclusion? The two specific heats become identical for truly incompressible substance since volume is constant. Example, liquids and solids. Now we have a separate module on compressible fluid flow. So what do you mean by compressible flow? What do you mean by incompressible flow or a substance? That we will see in detail in that module. So one thing you can remember is liquids and solids, they are incompressible for now. Okay, why it is so we will see in compressible fluid flow. Okay, so liquids and solids are incompressible. In that case, the volume remains constant. Okay, and that is why specific heats are identical. That is why when we have derived the relation for entropy for solids and liquids, we have just written C. We didn't write Cp and Cv in that equation. Why? Because Cp and Cv will become identical for liquid and solid. Now we will see Mayer relation for ideal gas. What happens for ideal gas? So we have already discussed this before. Beta value is equal to 1 upon absolute temperature in Kelvin, and K value is 1 upon P for ideal gas. This we had derived. Now what is the Mayer relation? Cp minus Cv is equal to T beta square V upon K. Now this beta square I can substitute by 1 by T square. So I am substituting, you can see blue color over here, beta square. I am replacing this by 1 by T square. Similarly, what is K? K is 1 upon P. So I have written 1 upon P. P will go in numerator. So here you can see that in this equation now, you can see that this temperature and this square will cancel, and you can write PV upon T. You will get PV upon T. So Cp minus Cv is what? PV upon T. Now this V is specific volume. So what is the equation for ideal gas? T into specific volume is what? R into T. So I am replacing P into small v, specific volume, in terms of RT. Okay, so I have replaced it, RT divided by T. Now this temperature and temperature will get cancelled, and you will find that Cp minus Cv for ideal gas is what? R. So in this way you can derive for ideal gas Cp minus Cv is R. Now what is the general relation for Cp minus Cv? Mayer relation, it is T into beta square into V, specific volume, divided by K. But for ideal gas, when you substitute beta and K values, this relation becomes Cp minus Cv is equal to R. So Cp minus Cv equal to R.